Hello, beautiful, and welcome to Finding Fertility. I'm your host, Monica Cox from findingfertility.co, and I created this podcast to help get you to start thinking outside of the box and realize that your infertility might have nothing to do with your lady bits. Rooted in functional medicine and personal experience, Finding Fertility is all about looking at the whole body and finding the root cause of your infertility. Finding Fertility does not diagnose, prescribe, or treat any issues of infertility, but what we do is take a holistic approach and improve your diet and your lifestyle to get you steps closer to creating your dream family. Just by being here with me, listening to this podcast, you're already going down the right path to making your dreams come true. Let's do this together. Welcome back to another episode of Finding Fertility. I'm your host, Monica Cox, and I am so honored that you are here with me, becoming the conscious mama you were born to be. Today, we have another episode where I popped into the community and gave a little chat. This really stems off some client coaching where we were discovering, and God knows that I did this a lot in my journey, especially the beginning. But cutting ourselves off from opportunities that can be amazing support, guidance, and hope and inspiration because we think the situation is going to just bring us more pain. And remember, what you believe is the truth. It might not be the ultimate truth, but at the moment, it's your truth. So the more that you can practice opening yourself up to receiving and surrendering to the amazing possibilities and getting out of your head and the expectations and the assumptions, the more the universe will show you and guide you along the way. So without further ado, let's get to today's episode. Hi guys, I wanted to pop in here this week and talk about opening yourself up to the possibilities of amazingness, of joy, of love, of gratitude, of, people's different experiences that maybe if you were so closed off would never happen. This is something that me and Molly talked about in our podcast episode that we had together here in the community. You guys get early access to it. Who knows when this is going to go out on the podcast, so I wouldn't even say. But if you have not listened to that episode, it's actually 2 episodes. Go check it out. But it is this really weird thing that as a society, but also really in the fertility issues community, that we build up these huge walls and we block ourselves from the amazingness that can come our way. And I know from my personal experience, I did this to protect myself. And I really truly didn't believe that it made a difference anyways. Like I didn't think that what I was doing was actually blocking anything energetically, because I didn't even know there was like an energetic thing, right? You always feel it, it's kind of like around, but my consciousness when I was going through the very beginning of my fertility journey was not there. Which is fine. We're all on our own paths and we all evolve in different ways and different times. But when I was on my one-to-one consultation with a client, and we were actually doing a psych case session, she was talking about a friend just let her know that she was pregnant and how gutted she was and how she didn't want to feel those emotions. And then it kind of moved into, well, I've got this baby shower coming up and I just don't want to go. I'm not excited about going, but I'm going to go and support my friend. And I get that feeling. I totally get it. I totally understand it. But here's the thing that I have learned, and something that hopefully you guys can start incorporating in your life, in your journey, because it will open up opportunities, experiences, and possibilities in your journey that are necessary to help you get to your ultimate goal. And my client experienced this when she, we did some subconscious work. We talked about, and, just kind of the things around this baby shower. And she emailed me after the baby shower and she said, I had the most beautiful experience. If you are in the Telegram group, I shared the email in there. And she just met this woman who had the most amazing story about how she dealt with fertility issues and how she became a mother. And she was so happy she went, and so happy that she just happened to sit next to this woman, and this woman just happened to have this story, and she shared with her, and it just gave her so much hope. And that's the kind of experiences that when you knock down the walls and open the doors for yourself, that you get to have. And when you have these types of experiences, it's just going to open up more like joy, more hope, more abundance. And when you're doing that, that's getting you closer to your ultimate goal of being a mom. It's also helping to reverse the physical issues as well, because when you are stuck in dis-ease, and past and present issues are just loading you with stress, this is when the emotional and the energetic stuff like alchemizes into the physical stuff, right? It's one and the same. And so it goes like the same, like of the saying, like you are what you eat. Like for me, you are what you eat consistently. If you have a Snickers bar once a month, you're not the fucking Snickers bar. If you eat it every day, you are a Snickers bar. And it's the same with your energetics and your thoughts and your emotions. Having one bad day, or maybe even two, right? Like sometimes we need 2 bad days, is not going to derail you off of your course. But if you are consistently putting up these walls, putting up these blocks, having negative talk, being, happy for them, but sad for yourself all the time, and not, shifting this energy, tearing down the walls. Sometimes it's a slow tear down. Maybe it's brick by brick. Sometimes we just got the sledgehammer and we are out. We are ready to take action. But everything, physically and energetically, the more consistent you are with the things that you know you need to do, the more you are allowing for the energetics to come towards you and your body to heal. So within our community, we, put up really big roadblocks for ourselves. And like maybe my way isn't the right way. And this isn't my way, right? Like I did not invent this shit. But I know that when I shifted, and I know when I see my clients shift, and I know when I see other people around me shift in whatever they're doing, that's when what you want starts to come to you. And so in our community, that there is a collection of people who use really negative talks, give you trigger warnings, don't show you pregnancies. No, I can't talk about my child. And like, I get it. I was there even when I first started coaching. I can't show my babies. And I don't show my kids lots anyways, just because I don't want my kids on the internet. But I had this mental thing, like when I was designing this course, I didn't have any images of pregnancy. And now it's like, you guys know, it's like littered with babies and pregnancies. And this is what you want. So why are you putting up any kind of energetic, mental, emotional blocks subconsciously, or maybe even consciously, that is hindering from you to get what you really want? So remember, you got to start where you're at, right? Easier said than done. But you've heard me say it before. One of the simplest things that you can do to really start that subconscious rewiring and tear down these walls is start saying to yourself, when I get pregnant, not if I get pregnant. Watch your language, watch your thought process, watch your attitude towards pregnancy announcements, baby showers. Watch your energy when you see a pregnant woman on the side of the street, and just start being conscious of it. And the first thing that you need to do is tell yourself you are going to make a conscious decision to alchemize that energy, alchemize that thought. I don't want to be here anymore. Right? I did a TikTok and I, was answering a question of like, well, how is it? How can you be happy for, the happy for them, sad for me type of thing? Or like, how do you get out of it? And for me, because I didn't have this information, I didn't have, there's so many amazing fertility health coaches out there. There's like zero in my time. Um, I was tired of the bullshit. I was tired of feeling that way, because the fact of the matter is that it's so much heavier and more exhausting to hold on to the anger, the jealousy, the fear, all those emotions, and continue to carry them with you. And I was just tired of it. And so that was what pushed me to change. I was like, I don't want to be this way anymore. And the fact of the matter is, it wasn't helping. It wasn't protecting me from anything. When I, had my miscarriages or my let's say my second failed IVF, it didn't protect from the sadness that it was, right? And I had to make a choice at that time, because we did get better embryo quality, to look at that as a positive experience and not a negative. And this is what you can do in your journey too. There are going to be times where things are just negatives. But if you can put a spin on it, okay, it didn't work, but I got better embryos. Second round, I got pregnant. Yes, I did miscarry, but that wasn't a failure for me. I proved that my body could do it. Okay, what's the next step? Right? And this is how you can look at your journey and even your healing, right? So, like we talk about in the course, like start with a little goal, start with the normal and common health issues. And if you're seeing wins in that, okay, maybe you're not seeing perfection, maybe you're not seeing the pregnancy yet, but start celebrating the hell out of what positives you are seeing, and really start breaking down those walls, start opening the doors, and really start getting into the possibility and the reality that motherhood is in your future. And when you sit yourself there, that there can be no other way, you might not know what way it looks like, or, motherhood comes in many shapes and forms. But if you just have that deep core belief, and I'm actually seeing that in a lot more clients now, and especially the ones who are, all the clients that are coming in the group coaching and in the one-to-ones, their belief system puts them on a different, playing field, because they have the upper hand. They have this deep-seated belief that they can get pregnant, either naturally or through IVF. Most of them know they can get pregnant naturally because they have done they already have. So Start putting that belief system into yourself. And you will see a massive difference if you do that energetic work for yourself on so many different levels. I think emotionally, mentally, and then you'll start seeing physically, because remember, they're all combined. So I hope this chat has helped. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Finding Fertility podcast. If you're loving this podcast, please leave us a rating and review and let us know how this podcast is supporting you to get steps closer to creating your dream family. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and we will see you next Friday for another episode of the Finding Fertility podcast.